What if I told you one of the best Metroidvanias in years isn't from a massive studio, and it could possibly outshine most of the classic? Today, we're talking about Mio Memories in Orbit, a sci-fi Metroidvania that blends tight platforming, fluid combat, haunting music, and one of the most atmospheric worlds I've adventured in a very, very long time. But the big question is Mio just another pretty indie game, or is it the best modern Metroidvania? Let's jump right into it. Mio absolutely nails the most important thing in any Metroidvania. The movement feels incredible. From the first minute, traversal is smooth and responsive. The character has weight, but never feels too slow. Inputs are tight, jumps feel deliberate, and dashes feel purposeful. As you unlock abilities like gliding, air dashing, and advanced wall climbing, the game evolves in that satisfying, "Oh, I remember that door" kind of way. But what makes Mio special isn't just unlocking the new tools. It's how the level design anticipates them. Areas are clearly built with future mobility in mind. You'll see the impossible platforms early on, and hours later you return and flow through them effortlessly. Backtracking never feels like a chore because your movement evolves constantly. Areas that once felt dangerous become playgrounds once you've upgraded, and that's key. All the best Metroidvanias make you feel weak and then unstoppable. Mio does this beautifully. There's even subtle environmental movement challenges that feel almost like puzzle platforming, not too frustrating, but satisfying when executed cleanly. It's that one more room feeling that keeps you hooked. Combat is where Mio separates itself. It's fast, it's precise, and it rewards aggression. Enemies aren't just damage sponges, they require positioning, timing, and ability usage. You can't just button mash your way through the encounters. Boss fights especially feel layered. You're reading patterns, reacting to telegraphs, adjusting positioning, and weaving mobility into the offense. Some bosses even force you to rethink how you use your abilities. There's a rhythm to combat that almost feels musical. And once your build starts coming together, you feel powerful, but never too broken. That balance is hard to achieve, and Mio pulls it off. It reminds me of the tightest responsiveness of Hollow Knight, but with a slightly more fluid, momentum-driven feel, and that definitely blends well. This game definitely understands exploration. The world design is interconnected without being too overwhelming, shortcuts that loop back in satisfying ways, and hidden pathways that reward curiosity. You're constantly asking, "What's over there? Can I reach that yet? Wasn't there a door that I couldn't open earlier?" And the answer is usually yes, but later. The map system strikes a smart balance. It gives you enough information to orient yourself without spelling everything out. If you love the structural design of Metroid Dread or the emotional exploration of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Mio sits comfortably in that space but with its own identity. One thing I especially appreciate is how vertical the world feels. Climbing, falling, looping back around, it makes the station feel alive and layered rather than flat and segmented. There's intention behind every single pathway. Now let's talk visuals. Mio is absolutely stunning. The sci-fi aesthetic blends organic decay with futuristic architecture. Lighting plays a huge role with flickering panels, distant glowing sources, and atmospheric haze. There's this constant feeling of loneliness and mystery. It's not loud or overly saturated, it's restrained, and that restraint makes the world feel believable. Animation is fluid, enemy silhouettes are readable, background layers add depth without clutter. It's one of those games where you stop moving just to look around for a minute. And that atmosphere, it sticks with you long after you stop playing. The soundtrack in this game deserves real praise. Instead of overpowering the experience, it enhances it. Ambient tones, subtle melodies, and rising tension during boss fights all work together to build immersion. Silence is used intentionally, sometimes the quiet is louder than the music itself. Sound cues during combat feel sharp and impactful, and hits land with weight. Environmental sounds reinforce the isolation of the world. It's not just good music, it's smart audio design, and that elevates everything. Mio definitely isn't easy, but it's fair. When you die, it feels like your fault, and not just the game's. Checkpoints are placed thoughtfully, and boss fights test you without becoming too frustrating. The progression system keeps things engaging as your ability stack, combat, and traversal evolve together, and not separately. There's also incentive to revisit areas for secret upgrades and hidden challenges. Completionists will have an absolute blast squeezing every corner of this map. And speedrunners, this movement system is 100% built for you. Once mastered, it flows. No game is perfect, and of course a few areas could use refinement. Some early game pacing feels slightly too slow before your mobility options actually expand. And occasionally, navigation can feel a bit vague if you step away from the game for too long. But these are minor issues, not deal breakers. They don't undermine the experience. They just keep it from absolute perfection. Is Mio Memories in Orbit the best modern Metroidvania? And here's my honest take. It might not reinvent the genre, but it definitely refines it. It understands what makes Metroidvania special: discovery, mastery, growth, and atmosphere, combined with tight movement, engaging combat, stunning art, smart world design, and immersive audio, all into one big cohesive experience. It feels confident, focused, intentional, and all of these things matter. If you love Metroidvanias, this is a must play. If you're new to the genre, this is also a fantastic entry point. All in all, I'm giving Mio an 8.5 out of 10. It's polished, it's atmospheric, it's rewarding, and it absolutely deserves to be in the conversation for the best modern Metroidvania. Maybe not the new king of the genre, but definitely sitting at the table. If you guys enjoyed the review, make sure to leave a like, and also let me know what your favorite Metroidvania is down in the comments. Also, if you want to see more game reviews just like this one, make sure to drop a sub and hang out around the channel. Go check out some of my other content. But that's all, y'all. Peace.